This presentation is a review of the process for finding main idea. Steps to remember. Before reading a passage, look at the title. Look at the text features. Ask yourself if there is enough information to determine the big idea yet. What do you think the main idea of this book would be? It seems pretty straightforward. They tell you that you can knit your own cat. They've got patterns. Now, I'm a knitter, so I would expect that if I bought this book and read this book, I could knit a cat. Here is another example of a book that would tell us from the title that we could knit with dog hair. I don't recommend this. I have a feeling it would smell like a dog. But it's clearly there. It tells you what it is. And here's a third example. It tells me that why cats paint. They have a theory about it. Well, I expect to know that why a cat would paint after that. Kind of a weird book, apparently. So, did you notice what these three books had in common? If you guessed they were all nonfiction, you were right. They were all nonfiction. That means they're real. And therefore, their titles often will give us a clue. But when we are reading fiction, we may or may not get a good clue from the title as to what the main idea is. During the reading of the passage, watch for repetitions of words, of phrases, of ideas. Watch and listen for repetitions while we read the passage together. A penny for your thoughts. If it's a 1943 copper penny, it could be worth as much as $50,000. In 1943, most pennies were made out of steel since copper was needed for World War II. So the 1943 copper penny is ultra rare. Another rarity is the 1955 double die penny. These pennies were mistakenly double stamped, so they have overlapping dates and letters. If it's uncirculated, it'd easily fetch $25,000 at an auction. Now that's a pretty penny. So, what is repeated in this passage? If you said penny, you are correct. So now we're on to what the big topic or big idea is. It was about pennies. So after reading the passage, ask yourself the important questions. Who or what was the passage talking about the most? What did we learn about the who or what? So we ask ourselves, who or what is this passage about? Well, it's about pennies, or more specifically, the 1943 penny, copper penny, and the 1955 double die penny. So, together, we could say it's about rare pennies. Next, we ask ourselves, why are these rare pennies important? Well, the 1943 copper penny, because they had to make most pennies out of steel since the copper was being used for the war effort, that makes them worth as much as $50,000. And the 1955 double die penny, they made a mistake. They goofed. And they can bring up to $25,000 at an auction. So let's put it all together. So who or what was the passage about? Rare pennies. Why is it important? They are very valuable because of their rarity. One due to a manufacturing mistake and one due to the shortage of copper during World War II. So let's put it all together. Some pennies are very rare and are worth a lot of money.